Traveling to one of the world's leading diamond centers is not an experience we will soon forget. Since the State of Israel was established, the Israeli diamond industry in Tel Aviv has blossomed into a hub for both the trade and manufacturing of polished diamonds. Wholesale diamond buyers flock from all corners of the globe to purchase their diamonds in Israel. On top of everything else, the country itself is rich with history and tradition. While walking the streets, we could almost feel the past generations living and breathing alongside us. While visiting the trading halls of the Israeli Diamond Exchange, it felt almost like we were traveling through a massive supermarket, except we were surrounded by all types of diamonds in every size, shape, and quality. Tel Aviv has quickly risen in the ranks to become one of the best alongside Antwerp in the diamond exchange industry. Almost all major traders who have offices in Antwerp now also hold offices in Tel Aviv. With its contemporary outlook on diamond production and marketing, the Israeli Diamond Exchange is a rising star, which hasn't shown any signs of slowing down. As a master IJO jeweler, Hancock Jewelers was able to go straight to the source by working directly alongside the manufacturers and wholesale diamond buyers. There was a huge selection of diamonds to choose from. While most places would only have a few options, Tel Aviv has some of the best selections available.
The reason that Israel has become the headquarters is because we have more opportunities of manufacturing and access to the rough diamond and also the client all over the world. That is why we have established a factory here in order to supply the customers cheaper range of the goods and also cheaper prices for any kind of a good that you're looking for.
Perhaps one of the aspects we found most influential was Israel's diamond polishing factories. They are on the forefront of the most sophisticated methods of diamond processing and technology.
We have here the best cutters and the best software and the best computer to cut the diamond. Here in Israel, we finish the stone in the best make, and in the end, because of the computers we have here, we are getting the best deals.
Hi, I'm Ashley Hancock from Hancock Jewelers. I'm here in Tel Aviv, Israel in the Royal Gem Diamond Cutting Center. Here I have several diamonds worth $2.2 million. I have some in the rough state as well as in the polished state. This is Danny from South Africa, and he's working on some polished goods right now. He has a beautiful diamond here, and he's checking it out to make sure that his angles are just perfect for that brilliant sparkle to fit on your finger.
We were able to meet with one of our promising Israeli jewelry designers, and she gave us insight into her designing process and a preview of her new line of jewelry.
My inspiration is really coming from my surroundings. When I design with words. Does it sound funny? Maybe. But I have symbols in my design. My first design have to be meaningful. My first design have to say something. Then the whole collection is expanded.
The diamond industry in Tel Aviv has always been strongly connected to the historic influence of the Jewish people in Europe. To fully immerse ourselves in the culture of Israel, we decided to take a tour that highlights all of the major biblical sites in the Holy Land. The first stop of our enthralling tour was the ancient city of Nazareth. Depicted in the New Testament as the childhood home of Christ, Nazareth is a prime destination for Christian pilgrimages in the Holy Land. It is also the home to countless churches and monasteries, each belonging to different Christian denominations. Of its many religious sites, the Church of the Annunciation is Nazareth's most prominent Christian shrine. It is the largest church in the whole of the Middle East, and it marks the place where the angel Gabriel told the Virgin Mary she was carrying the child of God. Next, we head north to Galilee, which is most commonly associated with mountainous scenery, luscious landscape, and the Sea of Galilee. But above all else, Galilee was known for being the home of Jesus. It was where he did much of his teaching, and also where many of his miracles were performed. Its close ties to the life of Christ has made it a hot spot for numerous churches and monasteries. Galilee is also the home of the Jordan River. Best known as the place where Jesus was baptized and the location in which John the Baptist did most of his work. The Jordan River is perhaps Israel's most sacred body of water. The river's second segment is still used for baptizing pilgrims who come to pay their respects to the river's rich history and tradition. The next stop on our tour of the Holy Land is one of the most historically and biblically significant cities in the world, Jerusalem. A Christian tourist could be content spending their entire trip visiting the multiple archaeological and religious sites located there. One of the most beautiful of these sites is the Mount of Olives. It is a must-see destination located on the eastern side of the Jerusalem mountains and set in a very quiet and isolated area. At the foot of the mountains, we found the infamous Garden of Gethsemane, a lovely olive garden consisting of trees over 2,000 years old. But the garden is not famous simply for the fact that it is beautiful. It has enormous significance to the Christian world. It is the site that Jesus Christ prayed to God one final time before being betrayed by Judas and sentenced to death. Right near the Mount of Olives, we found ourselves at the most famous Islamic site in Jerusalem, the Dome of the Rock. This Muslim shrine built over a sacred stone can be seen from all over Jerusalem. It is one of the holiest places on earth and is the oldest Islamic monument still standing today. One of the most famous sites in our tour of Jerusalem was the Western Wall, also known as the Wailing Wall. It is a remnant of the Holy Temple of the Jews, and the stones of which it is made date back to the Herodian period. Our next stop in Jerusalem was to walk the Via Dolorosa. It marks the path in which Jesus carried the cross on the way to his crucifixion. While traversing the path, we found 14 stations that call attention to the famous encounters which occurred during the walk. 9 of the stations are found on the Via Dolorosa, and the last 5 are located within the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. This is where our walk came to an end, and it is the location where many Christians believe the crucifixion and burial of Jesus took place. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is also known for holding some of the most breathtaking Crusader art of the 12th century. It is still used daily for liturgy, Mass, and holy ceremonies. As we headed south, we stopped at one of the Jewish people's greatest symbols, Masada. Other than Jerusalem, it is the most popular tourist destination in Israel. This ancient fortress is placed atop an isolated rock cliff at the western end of the Judean desert, overlooking the Dead Sea. We made our way to the top of Masada by riding a modern cable car. But for those that are feeling more ambitious, there is also the option of traveling on foot via the Snake Path. Be warned, the natural approach to the cliff top is quite difficult to accomplish. But once you reach the top of this majestic plateau, the view is breathtaking. Even though 2,000 years have passed since the fall of this ancient city, the climate has lent itself well to preserving the remains of the fortress. Other than the view, the most intriguing aspect of Masada was King Herod's northern palace, which was built on 3 rock terraces overlooking the valley below. Getting to look inside the large Roman-style bathhouses, luxurious Western palace, storerooms, watchtowers, and ancient synagogues was more than we could have hoped for. No Christian tour to the Holy Land would be complete without a visit to the Dead Sea. We headed to the beach to get a first-hand experience of the well-known floating effect and to douse ourselves with the therapeutic mud. According to biblical accounts, the Dead Sea was the site of the infamous cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. It is extremely dense from the amount of salt it holds. This is why we were able to float with no effort on top of the water. With its broad array of physical, spiritual, and commercial activities, our trip to the Israeli Diamond Exchange was anything but disappointing. Tel Aviv is on the forefront of the diamond industry and is now one of the world's leading diamond centers. Its cutting-edge approach and contemporary ideas make it a must-visit for any and all true diamond importers. By dealing directly with the diamond cutters in Tel Aviv, Hancock Jewelers is able to cut out the middlemen brokers, passing the saving directly on to our customers. Personally, we can't wait to go back.